Now let's take a few minutes to discuss disc openers and why they're important. The disc opener is going to create a V as the planter moves forward. It's going to open up that trench, and it's going to create the home for the seed to fall down to, hopefully at one specified depth, so that we can get good seed to soil contact and drive towards uniformity and emergence. To make sure that this process happens properly, we have to check the maintenance. To begin, we need to take a look at the actual dimension of the disc blade. Consult your owner's manual to know what the disc blade diameter should be for your particular make and model of planter. So if I remove a used disc like this, I'm going to measure the back side of that disc. A new one is 15. When I get to 14.5 inches, that disc blade has now outlived its useful life. If I let the diameter of this blade get too small, I begin to wear other components internal to the row unit, and we want to avoid that. Before we install those new discs, we want to check a few things. We want to be sure that the hub itself is centered, both up and down, and making sure that we don't have any wobble side to side. We can install it on the row unit and rotate and look at the relationship between the disc and the row unit itself, or we could take something like a bolt in a vise, put a screwdriver next to it, and rotate that disc blade to make sure that it doesn't walk up or down or side to side. If you do see wobble in that blade, you need to set that one off to a side and find one that's true. Once we've assured that we have a true disc blade, it's now time to install that blade onto the row units itself and set our correct contact points. To do this, we're going to use 2 business cards. I'm going to bring a business card in from the bottom side until it catches, and I'm going to bring one in from the top side until it contacts. If I can pull that business card all the way through, I know I need to remove shims from the inside and bring the disc in tighter. If I can pull the business card all the way through, I risk creating a W bottom, getting poor seed to soil contact, and affecting emergence through poor depth and poor germination. In the event that I have too much contact, I can add shims. In this particular case, I'm at about 1 inch of contact. The amount of contact is going to depend on the thickness of the blade. A 3.5 millimeter blade needs about 1 inch to 1.5 inches contact. A 3 millimeter blade, a thinner blade, is going to need more contact, 1.5 inches to 2 inches. If I over-shim a thicker blade, I risk burning out the hub before I actually wear the disc material out itself. Once I get my pinch point, I can use something like a Sharpie marker or a paint marker, make my mark, and rotate it around to be sure that I have the proper contact in 3 different points on the disc blade. In this particular case, I can see that this is not true. I only had 1 inch of contact back here, and I have closer to 2 inches of contact in this particular point. Once I've assured the proper contact around the rotation of that blade, I can now move on to the next row. To be sure that you have the proper disc dimensions and shimming dimensions, consult your owner's manual or reach out to your local Precision Planting Premier dealer for this information.